Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm your host, Sean. On this episode, I want to thank everyone for joining in. Hopefully, you guys are staying safe, happy, healthy. Yeah, kind of crazy. It's still going crazy as we speak right now. But I have a kind of like a hot kind of insider type topic that I wanted to bring to your attention. This is brand spanking new, hot off the presses, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this new opportunity. Has nothing to really do with me. Okay, we're just going to talk about it. But I want you to take a second to read what you see on the screen right here. If you can own a piece of $1 million coin, would you do it? Okay, if the opportunity arises and you have this just amazing chance to go in on an investment, all right, as kind of like a fractional share of one of the white whale collectible U.S. coins in history, if the opportunity arises, should you jump on it? So this is an intriguing topic, something that I'm sure has never come up in the annals of the YouTube world, let alone social media. However, it's not a new concept the way it sits. Now, we're talking about coins here, all right? But the prospect of owning fractional shares of collectible items is starting to kind of, I don't know, it's kind of developing into a thing out there today. There are a few collectibles companies that deal specifically with collectible sports memorabilia. So, like like original basketballs with Michael Jordan autographs, and that are game used. Sports cards, like your 1952 Mickey Mantle, or I don't know. There's a lot of them. The Gaudy Babe Ruth. Even the Topps T06 Honus Wagner, or Honus Wagner, however you want to pronounce it, is it's considered like one of the marquee sports collectibles today. So there is a company that we are going to kind of shadow called Collectible.com, and they are one of the pioneers of the fractional shares idea. And what it really is so that way you don't have to go like 10 minutes into this video to understand what it is. You are paying usually it's through some sort of investment firm. You're probably going through a broker. We're actually going to travel through their website so you see what it's like. But you're paying for a fraction piece of a collectible item. For example, if something is $100,000 and you wanted to own a piece of that asset, you could do so for as little as $100, and then you just purchase up however many shares of that particular collectible baseball card, or whatever it is. Mike Trout signed bat that was used in a notable game, like a rookie debut bat. Would be phenomenal. And there are of course some stipulations, some fees that are involved. So let's say if you purchased again one share of a $100,000 asset for $1,000, you exactly own, was it 1/100th? I have to figure out the math here just to make sure. Yeah, 1/100th of that particular asset. Do you actually own 1/100th of that asset? It's probably not all what you think it is. All right. While you have put in $1,000 to own a piece of that rare baseball card, we're just going to use that as an example. because we're going to get to the coin part of it, and that's exciting in itself. What are the fees involved? Of course, you have, some of the standard like brokerage fees and, just maintenance and upkeep and all that garbage that comes along with owning a fractional share. Now, this is a relatively new idea for a lot of you. And based off of what you think about the idea, there are going to be new investment firms that are going to dive into this concept, this idea of owning fractional shares of ultra rarities. And that's where the coins come into play. Word has it that a real estate investment firm is toying with the idea of building a similar model to the collectible.com business. All right, so how that looks on some sort of like illustrative view, okay? We're on heritageauctions.com. These are some of the most expensive coins that have ever sold at auction through this website. So I want you to take some time to look at the top 3 coins on the list. All right, so we got the 1787 Brasher doubloon, which is a rare coin in itself. I really don't know a whole lot about it, so I figure, and probably not a lot of you know about it either, okay? But apparently it's an ultra rarity, in the numismatics field. But the next 2 coins are certainly coins that are iconic in a way that if you are a fan of U.S. coins, then you're probably going to know what these 2 coins are. Okay, probably more so the 1804 dollar, the draped bust dollar that you see number 3 on the list here, as a proof 62. Okay, they were proof struck coins, PCGS graded, and that one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for a cool $3,877,500. All right, so this real estate investment firm would purchase a coin like that, and then they would go ahead and offer up publicly fractional shares of that coin. All right, so you could buy in for $25,000. You could buy in for $500,000 to own a good chunk of it, and you might even be the majority stakeholder of that coin at $500,000. It could happen. And I guess you guys need to know exactly how you make money investing in fractional shares of collectible items. And what it really comes down to is all timing in the marketplace. Now, I have talked within the last 2 weeks that the market is all of a sudden taking kind of a shift. We're beginning to see, and this is a kind of like a good indicator of, the market starting to head up the same way it did back in 2009, right after the Great Recession, in which the housing market fell apart. Jobs were being lost. There was a lot of things going on. Cars were being repossessed, and the safe money was invested in precious metals. Even though some would say that precious metals is probably one of the worst investments, for the mere fact that you don't get dividends, or you don't get anything additional when you invest in ETFs for silver and gold and that sort of thing. So at that time, people were also parking lots of money into coins, and that's why during times of economic uncertainty or the unemployment rate shoots up, to like 15%, all right, and not a lot of people have the ability to work, all right, the big-time investors that have absolutely no confidence in actual businesses, retailers, of course, are like suffering huge. Restaurants are getting beat up. They're pulling money out of these particular companies, and they're putting it into what we call a safe haven asset, Okay, and that's where silver, gold, and coins fall in that category. So this has been getting lots of steam. I've actually heard it from a friend of a friend who knows one of the managing partners of this real estate firm, that they are pushing heavily to get this launched by the end of the year. Okay, and who knows? Who knows where precious metals or the overall economy is going to be in December? Okay, so a number of various coins are going to be invested, and you have the ability to buy into it. Okay, the way that you make money is as these assets go up in price, there's always going to be a buyer. Okay, the company, whoever that's going to be, is going to try and actively make that coin that everybody has invested into, they're going to try and sell it at a large profit. And that's how you make money. All right, but how much money do you make in relation to the fees and the maintenance and everything like that? Because obviously it's like investing on E-Trade or Scottrade or one of those brokerage type of accounts, whether they're electronically through the app or whatever, in person at a branch. There's always going to be some sort of fees, okay? And where it makes less sense to do the fractional share investment is going to be when you're investing very little money into it. It's like, okay, I can invest as little as $100 into an 1804 Drake Bust dollar. All right, and then kind of like lock in a piece of that coin. And the idea sounds good, but keep in mind, the coin is worth almost $4 million. You only own $100 off of it. Although it gives you kind of like voting privileges, which, by the way, collectible.com, which is this site right here, is the sports version that has been around since, I believe, 2018 of the upcoming coin idea. All right, so you can invest in any one of their assets for as little, I guess, as like $100. Okay, and then you can invest quite a bit more. You can dump enough money to own half of that item. But what ends up happening is the company is trying to actively sell it for a large amount of profit, and what they do is I think it's ran through the app. They are allowing people to vote on it to see if they want to accept that sale. All right, and it has to be a majority vote, okay, in one way or the other. All right, so let's say for a 2009 Mike Trout autograph rookie debut bat that they own for $200,000. Okay, they have a buyer on the line that will buy it for $350,000. So better yet, let's use $400,000, which is essentially doubling up the market value of the piece and doubling your share. Okay, so once they accept the sale. But they can't just go out and sell it because you have a bunch of these people that have invested money into that bat. So they allow people to vote on it. Okay, yeah, man, you know, I guess it's either a yes or no. You know, should we go ahead and sell this? And then you would get X amount of dollars back off of your investment. And then, you know, it goes from, it could be a majority no, too. You're like, oh, it's just not the time. I feel like that this thing's going to keep going up. And then, you know, usually that's why you would get the majority no. You know, or, you know, the trying to sell it and dump it right away means you would take a loss. Nobody likes taking a loss, especially when an investment is on the line. But anyways, yeah, there's going to be some sort of coin equivalent. I'm going to keep you guys updated on how that all kind of works. It's interesting, but one thing you got to know is that this is a new idea. This is a new concept. It is relatively untested, save for this site Collectible, who's been doing it for a few years, and it seems like they have some pretty good reputation to back up what they offer service-wise. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, there's a number of sports stars, I guess, are signed up into this program. And the people that have heard and know about this idea of investing in a fractional share of an item, was exciting. But of course, it's going to have its detractors too. Like, oh yeah, it takes big money items off the market, or it artificially inflates the value of these items, because of this. And I think a lot of it has to do with the overall amount of money that's invested with the fees. That kind of rubs people the wrong way. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. I mean, it's a cool idea. And like I had said and mentioned, that it's probably not the best thing to do if you're only looking to getting into it like at a minimal status. Like, wow, a $200,000 Mike Trout rookie bat, or this 1804 here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna invest $1,000 into a $4 million coin. Seems hardly exciting to me. If you're going to invest, obviously investing into things that that are market trendable, like right now, precious metals are all the rave because of I guess this supposed second wave of the virus coming through. That's going to further degrade a lot of companies and businesses. And then where do you go from there? Where do you park the money to keep it safe? Maybe make a few bucks in the process, and that's like silver and gold, and coins and currency, and all of these other assets that people have relied upon to kind of like wait it out. It's almost like a savings account, with a pretty good return over time. You got to know when to pull it out. And, I figure I'd let you guys know that something like this is being developed as we speak. If you're tinkering with the idea of doing this, hold up just a second, because the coin part of it is untested. And I would be more interested in knowing, what the financial, I guess, backing is going to look like. Like Collectible, I read on there that they are backed by the Federal Trade Commission. All right, so they have to run and operate around the guidelines of the FTC. All right, so that way there's not going to be any funny insider doodads going on. And of course, you would get a stiff fine if that were the case. And if that happens, you would probably lose your investment. Again, it's a relatively untested market in trading and investing. So I don't know. Just stay tuned. I'm going to be talking more about this as we get close. I mean, of course, if it falls through the cracks, I'll let you guys know. But it's ironic that this would come up at a time when, coins are starting to sell for more money. More prices of silver and gold are shooting up through the moon right now, after it staying stagnant for about 6 years. But I don't know. That's it. That's really all I wanted to talk about. Okay, it's just don't jump on anything, on any of this type of stuff, without knowing all the legalese that's involved. Because you don't want to lose out on your investment. It doesn't matter how small or how big. You want to make sure that you're working with legitimate contractors. But anyways, that's going to do it. So I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. I want to thank you guys for joining in on this kind of weird video. It's got all sorts of like weird undertone vibes going on with it because I've never personally talked about something like this. But you guys ought to know that, if this becomes available, I would guess that you should proceed with caution. But yeah, we're in a time right now where you have to kind of look at where your money's going. All right, is this a viable direction? All right, I mean, it sounds great where, you know, the prospect of doubling up your money seems very strong, but I just can't say for sure because it's all new. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications. And as always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. So I want to thank you for joining. Thank you for all the views and support. And I guess I'll see you on the next coin video. How about that? All right. Take care, guys.